Hello, my name is Craig Phillips. I'm the creator of Second Chance to Live at secondchancelive.org. In today's video presentation, I'm going to be sharing a presentation that I created for the Brooks Rehabilitation Neuro Day Treatment Program in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm sharing this information in video format for you to have the ability or the availability to share this information with your staff, individuals who are living with brain injuries and their families, to encourage them to realize that I can, regardless of my brain injury, regardless of my deficits, my limitations, or the stereotypes, stigmas, labels, diagnoses, or prognoses that people may be putting on us as individuals living with brain injuries. My brain injury occurred in 1967 when I was 10 years old. I'm 65 at the current time. I was in a coma for 3 weeks. I had right lung damage, a severe brain bruise with brainstem involvement. I was not supposed to succeed beyond high school academically, but I went on and got my undergraduate degree in 10 years and my graduate degree in 3.5 years. I have a master's degree in rehabilitation counseling from the University of Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky. To read the presentation, put on my glasses and bring up the presentation. I want to thank you for your time. Here's the presentation: Brain Injury and the Power of I Can in an Ongoing Brain Injury Recovery Process. And what is very important to realize is that this is an ongoing process. It's not something that can be fixed by a silver bullet, a magic potion, or by some information that it has a magic cure to it. It just takes what it takes, and it takes time, lots of time. So, and here's a quote that I share often. It says that everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. So it's really important for me to realize, and to all of us to realize, that even though we can't climb trees, we can develop our genius in ways that work for us. So here's the beginning of this presentation. I have in large caps: big things have small beginnings, and that's a quote by Prometheus. So making every day a good day. What we become in life is not based on what other people say we can or cannot do. What we become is based on what we say we can do. Inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's very hard. After a brain injury, the way we can may change, but we are not limited. And here's that quote that I mentioned: everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. And again, that's by Albert Einstein. That's who I attributed it to. There's other people that may disagree with the attribution, but I'm going to say that it's Albert Einstein. So owning our responsibility for life. And with this understanding comes the realization that I need to own the responsibility. The responsibility of what I become in life is mine. Here's another quote that I like: nothing in the universe can stop you from letting go and starting over, by Guy Finley. And another quote: we must be willing to let go of the life we have planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. And that's by Joseph Campbell. So, considering the concept of 2 days before our brain injury, several days ago, and this was back in 2016 that I wrote this article. It's currently 2022, December 29th. So if you're watching this after the New Year's, Happy New Year's to you. So several days ago, I watched the TV program that began with the caption 2 days before. After the 2 days before caption appeared, the TV show began showing the events that led up to the present day events. Living with a brain injury can be likened to the 2 days before. Living with a brain injury can leave you and I, or us, feeling and focusing on what we were able to do 2 days before our brain injuries. Living with a brain injury can also keep you and I focused on what we can no longer do. Living with a brain injury can keep you and I stuck focusing on our limitations and deficits. Living with a brain injury can keep you and I focusing on symptoms instead of looking for solutions. Living with a brain injury can keep you and I from experiencing what we could be experiencing in the present. But the good news is that we don't have to be stuck in the 2 days before mindset. The power of I can in my brain injury recovery process. The good news is that I can move beyond the 2 days before. The good news is that I can live my life in the 2 days later. The good news is that I can move beyond any prediction or predictions that might be given to me based on a diagnosis, a prognosis, or some label, stereotype, or stigmatization. The good news is that we can create our own predictions. The good news is that I can explore my creative capacity and find my creative genius. The good news is that I can move forward to create hope in my own recovery process, recovery process one day at a time. The good news is that I can set goals, set and work toward doing and accomplishing those goals one bite at a time. And I like the riddle, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. The good news is that I can start focusing on what I can do with my life, not what I can't do or cannot do. The good news is that I can answer the question, why not me, instead of being distracted by the question, why me? The good news is that I can see my life through the lens of what is instead of seeing and focusing on my life through the lens of what isn't. The good news is that I can take the time to discover how I can make what works for me work for me. The good news is that I can pursue my dreams and my destiny. Pursue my dream, pursue my destiny through using my gifts, talents, and abilities. The good news is that I can, by the grace of a loving God and hard work, I can. I can achieve beyond all reasonable expectations. The good news is that I can have a huge impact on both my life and the lives of other people who are brought into my life. The good news is that I can pursue my dreams a little at a time. I can pursue my dreams one skill and one skill set at a time. Here's another quote that I like: believe in yourself, go after your dreams, and don't let anyone put you in a box, by Dea. The good news is that I can make tremendous gains in my recovery process by staying committed by running my own race. Here's another quote that I really like. Those who dance were considered to be quite insane by those who could not hear the music, by Angelo Monet. The good news is that I can stay committed to my recovery process one day at a time, a little at a time, through decision and diligence. And another quote: decision is the spark that ignites action. Until an action, nothing happens. And that's by Wilfred A. Peterson. The good news is that I can succeed by trusting the process, by doing the footwork, and then by letting go of the outcomes. Nothing is a waste of time if you use the experience wisely. And that's another quote, and that's by Auguste Rodin. The good news is that I can grow where I'm planted. The good news is that I can determine to build something beautiful on my lot in life. And here's another quote that I like that reinforces this reality. Regardless of your lot in life, you can build something beautiful on it, by Zig Ziglar. Now, I've been a student of the martial arts for the past 26, 27 years to develop my brain and my body, the right side and the left side of my brain, and the left and right side of my body. Here in this presentation, I have different demonstrations that I've done over the years that people have kindly been videotape me doing. So if you come to this video presentation, or this presentation, which I'll provide a link in the description portion of the YouTube video, you can scroll down and come to these particular demonstrations and click on the click on the link and it'll open up the link to the presentation or the demonstration. Now, the reason why I'm sharing these with you all is to show that you can achieve things a little at a time, and it's just taken me a lot of time through a lot of repetitions, a bazillion repetitions, to working on one skill and one skill set at a time, and then on another skill and another skill set, and combining those. And over time, through lots of repetition and not giving up and being committed to my process, I've been able to achieve things that I never dreamed possible. So my encouragement to you is to watch these, to see the progression of my development as a martial artist through using different martial arts disciplines. My sensei's, Qigong's original instructor is Bruce Lee, and his philosophy of Jeet Kune Do was to research your own experience, absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, and have specifically your own creation. So my encouragement to you, as I need to do and do in my life as a martial artist, as well as an individual living with a brain injury, is to find out what works for me and does not work for me, and use that what works for me and discard what does not work for me. A concept that my sensei shared with me, and when I first started training at the martial arts school, he said, what I do is I give you ingredients. Well, your job is to combine those ingredients to make a cake, to become an efficient and effective martial artist. And that's what I've chosen to do in my life as a martial artist, and also as an individual living with a brain injury, by not giving up, by being committed and staying committed to the process. So be aware of how you learn. Here in this presentation, I also have a link to traumatic brain injury learning styles and activities of daily living. And in this, I talk about how different people learn in different ways. Some people learn through watching and listening. Other people learn through doing, or a combination of listening, watching, and doing, which I do. I learn through watching and then following patterns and doing. So I've watched a lot of YouTube videos over time and just rerun them over and over again, and then just try to follow. And I have learned a lot of things, and that has helped me to do things together on Second Chance to Live that I didn't previously know how to do. So my encouragement to you is just find out, get together with somebody to find out how you learn, be it a counselor, be it someone there in the living situation you're in the rehabilitation hospital. Just get tested, because the way that you learn now may be different than the way that you learned before your brain injury. And the individuals who are teaching you may be frustrated because they're teaching you in ways that you do not learn. So find out how you learn, and then start finding ways to use how you learn in ways that work for you. So, and then we'll go on to the presentation. I use the metaphor of the training camp here. I would like to share something that has helped me in my brain injury recovery process. I would like to borrow from the concept that many sports use in their preparations, the concept of training camps for readiness. Training camps prepare the individual in the sport to achieve effectively and efficiently. Like training camps in sports preparation, I've come to realize that life's experience provides many training camps. These training camps are designed to empower you and me to perform effectively and efficiently. As with any training camp, those who participate in the camp must dedicate themselves to the activities of the camp. The benefit received by each participant in the training camp is dependent upon the effort they put forth during the training camp. But in order to benefit from the training camp, the participant needs to stay committed to the process while executing the basics. And here's a quote that I like. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed up in overalls and looks like work. Basic attitudes that need to be owned to be successful in any training camp. A training camp in football or in the UFC, such as cage fighting and kickboxing. Principles to empower our ongoing brain injury recovery process. Hard work, commitment, drive, determination, discipline, fortitude, persistence, tenacity, and courage. Training camps necessitate hard work, commitment, determination, discipline, drive, fortitude, persistence, tenacity, and courage. And making the decision to not give up despite. Here's a quote that I like by Abraham Lincoln. I will prepare and someday my chance will come. When the individual makes the decision to persevere in the face of adversity, discouragement, and setbacks, character is formed. Character enables the individual to grow and develop in ways that once seemed to be out of their reach. And here's another quote that I like. If you take responsibility for yourself, you will develop a hunger to accomplish your dreams by Les Brown. So the pitfalls of arrogance. Character must be established on a foundation of humility. Apart from humility, any progress that is made will be eclipsed by arrogance. Arrogance interrupts the participant's ability to progress in the camp because the individual becomes resistant to learning. The product of arrogance closes the eyes and ears of the camp's participants' ability to develop their talent, skills, and ability. No, and something that I needed to realize, and I just want to encourage you to realize that no one is coming to save you or me. What we have to do our own work. When we own our responsibility, we get busy and we get better. So I like a quote by Zig Ziglar. He says that sometimes adversity is what you need in order to become successful. So do not give up because you're facing adversity. Just realize that you can develop your mind, have mind over matter, and that as a result, you can find ways that will work for you. When the participant cannot see or hear what is essential to advance in the camp, they will cease to benefit from the camp. Anyone can lead. Arrogance can lead the individual to believe that they can bypass hard work, commitment, determination, drive, discipline, fortitude, persistence, tenacity, and courage. But it isn't so. Arrogance can lead the individual to believe that someone else is at fault for them not progressing in the training camp or their training camp. Arrogance can lead the individual to believe that someone is coming to save them, that someone or a program will provide a magic pill or a special potion to replace hard work and determination. It just isn't so. Don't let somebody delude you or deceive you. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take determination. That's just the way it is. To that, I would say learn from whatever program you're in, but then get busy. Apply what you have learned in that program. You are the only person who can benefit from the time, energy, and effort that you put into your training camp. Being and staying committed to the process. Here's a couple more quotes that I like. As I shared earlier, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work, by Thomas Edison. And another quote I haven't shared: when you get what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Something that my sensei shared with me, because I wanted to be promoted quicker than he was. And when I asked, he said, "You're asking when you ask, you're not ready." And I didn't realize this, but his son, who was Sho Sensei, a third degree black belt, shared something with me one time that really encouraged me. Or actually, at the time, it didn't really encourage me. It was kind of like a quench because I wanted the next belt. But he said that a belt is something that merely holds up your pants. The color of a belt means nothing. What is important is what you learn from one belt to another belt that makes you more effective as a martial artist. So my encouragement to you is I need to remember, don't look for the destination, do the footwork, trust God with the process, trust the loving God with the outcomes, and don't give up. If you doubt if you doubt that you can benefit from putting the work into your training camp, let me share some good news with you. You are capable. You can learn from what does and does not work for you. What works for you may not work for anyone else, but you won't know that unless you put in the time and effort. So don't give up. My sensei also shared with me after one class we were doing ground fighting or grappling, and I was grappling these larger, stronger guys, and I asked Sensei, I said, Sensei, how do you grapple larger and stronger guys? And he said, what works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. You're going to have to figure that out. And again, this quote by Bruce Lee: research your own experience, absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, and add specifically your own creation. So it's really up to us to figure that out. No one else can figure that out for us. We need to do that. Say, look at your circumstances and opportunities as training camps, as designed to help you win in life. As you stay committed to each of your training camps, you will succeed by not giving up. Even though the going seems rough at times, when we get busy, we get better and we develop things that we never dreamed possible. So don't take shortcuts. Apply the basics: hard work, commitment, determination, drive, discipline, fortitude, persistence, tenacity, and courage to your process. By staying committed to your process, before long, you will be able to see how much progress you have made. Progress that you have made because you stay committed to the process in your training camp. And here's another couple quotes that I like. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. With a single step by Lao Tzu, Tzu. And here's a quote that I added on to that. Once we start walking, before long, we'll be able to look back and see how far we have come because we did not give up, by Craig J. Phillips, MRC. Today's thought: envision yourself winning in life. See your experiences in life as a series of training camps that are helping you to run your race, training camps that are preparing you to finish strong, training camps that are rewarding you for your hard work and determination, training camps that will empower you to follow your dreams, training camps that will cause you to triumph in life. And then in yesterday's article, I wrote an article after I wrote this article, how to get started in my brain injury recovery process. I spoke about the basics that make a successful training camp in the article. I shared that living with a brain injury and by applying the basics of the training camp: hard work, commitment, determination, drive, discipline, fortitude, persistence, tenacity, and courage, I am able to achieve far beyond all reasonable expectations by not giving up. In my experience, I have found that through the grace of God, hard work hard work, I can achieve beyond all reasonable expectations. In today's article, I would like to explore the meaning of several of the words or concepts that go into making of a successful training camp, or making a training camp successful. To gain a greater understanding of these words and concepts, I will do some research. I did some research and share what I discovered. So what I did is I did some research on these particular concepts, or the elements, the basics of a training camp, and I went ahead and I share these concepts here in this article and in this presentation, excuse me. So, hard work or work ethic. Without hard work, nothing grows but weeds, by George B. Hinckley. Hard work means being diligent to accomplish a task or a goal that is set before me with focus. Hard work involves sticking with a project or a goal to achieve the desired outcome. For me, hard work does not mean running a sprint, but involves running a marathon, which involves consistent and ongoing effort. And I have an article linked to an article that I've written to illustrate this. A word of encouragement: keep swinging at the fences. Second basic of the training camp: commitment, a willingness to give your time and energy to something that you believe in, or in a promise or firm decision to do something. And that's by Cambridge Dictionary. For me, commitment involves loyalty first to myself to stick with a goal regardless. Commitment communicates to me to remain undeterred from what I set out to accomplish. Accomplish through what I set out, although the way that I set out to accomplish something may have changed due to my brain injury. My commitment teaches me that I can find a way that will work for me to be able to accomplish any goal. And the article link is When Circumstances Change Our Plans. Determination is a positive emotion that involves persevering towards a difficult goal in spite of obstacles. Determination occurs prior to any to goal attainment and serves to motivate behavior that will achieve one's desired goal. By Wikipedia. Determination helps me to focus on what I want to accomplish in spite of obstacles and setbacks. Obstacles become a sign on the road that helps me to realize that adjustments need to be made to accomplish my desired goal or goals. Determination teaches me to not give up in spite of apparent obstacles and setbacks, because I know that more will be revealed in time. And here's that quote that I earlier shared: we will prepare, and someday my chance will come, by Abraham Lincoln. And the article link is experiencing adversities, failures, setbacks, and not giving up. Drive. There are three major components to motivation: activation, persistence, and intensity. Activation involves the decision to initiate a behavior. Persistence is the continued effort toward a goal, even though obstacles may exist. Finally, intensity can be seen in the concentration and vigor that goes into pursuing a goal. And that's from About Education, What is Motivation? Motivation can either be external or internal. Being externally driven will only last until a threat is removed. Being internally motivated or driven, on the other hand, is sustainable because of the individual's internal desire to achieve the skill set, or goal. The drive encourages me to stick with the process and keep learning from my circumstances, my experiences, and my opportunities. And the article link is Don't Give Up, Your Life Matters. Next characteristic or basic of a training camp: discipline. Training to act in accordance with the rules, drill, activity, exercise, or a regimen that develops or improves a skill, the rigor of it, or training effect of experience or adversity. Discipline, and that's by dictionary.com. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments, and that's by Jim Rohn. For me, discipline means that I keep working on my craft, tweaking and taking away, adding and making the decision to follow through, to condition myself to achieve an end. And the article link is Neuroplasticity, Small Successes, and Relearning Skill Sets. The next basic of the training camp is fortitude. Fortitude means courage or bravery. It is the ability and willingness to confront fear, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation, by Wikipedia. Fortitude is the martial of thought, the armor of the will, and the fort of reason, by Francis Bacon. That's a quote I like. For me, fortitude means that I commit to pursuing my dreams and my destiny, my vision and mission in the face of being minimized, marginalized, dismissed, and discounted. Fortitude means that I remain true to myself regardless of whether anyone else gets it or understands me. Fortitude means that I stay committed to my goals, whatever they may be at the time. And here's another quote that I haven't written down here is that not everyone will understand your journey. That's okay. You're not here to you're here to live your life, not to make everyone understand. And the article link that goes along with fortitude is having the courage to be me. The next basic is persistence, the quality that allows someone to pursue doing something or trying to do something even though it is difficult or opposed by other people. And that's by Merriam-Webster. Persistence, persistence and resilience only come from having been given the chance to work through difficult problems. And that's by Gver G-V-E-R Tully, Tulley. That's the quote. For me, persistence is the decision to get up more times than I fall down. Persistence for me means that I do not give up regardless. Giving up is simply not an option. Persistence means believing in myself. And the article link is answering the call that never came. The next quality or characteristic needed in a training camp is tenacity. An unwillingness to yield or give up, being dogged, stubbornly persevering, and steadfast. Here's a quote that I like. It is not that I'm so smart, it's that I just stay with problems longer, by Albert Einstein. Tenacity keeps me moving toward what I want to accomplish in life. Tenacity means that I keep looking for ways to win in life. Tenacity means I do not give myself no for an answer. Tenacity means that I trust the process, loving God and myself. Tenacity means that I keep moving forward. And the article link is my detailed about page, which is essentially my autobiography. Courage. The state or willingness, this is another quality or basic of the training camp. The state or quality of mind, which is courage or spirit that enables one to face danger, fear, or vicissitudes without self-possession, confidence, with self-possession, confidence, and resolution, bravery. That's from the Free Dictionary. And here's a quote that I like. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. And that's by Steve Jobs. Courage means that I stay committed to the process, the footwork, and the journey. Courage helps me to remember that I do not have to do things perfectly. Courage reminds me that I can pursue excellence instead of perfection. Courage reminds me that with all learning, there's a learning curve. Courage reminds me to stay committed to my mission and vision. Courage gives me hope. And here's an article link that I have, More Than a Survivor. And another quote that I like, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frighten us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people do not feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our light shine, our own light to shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same thing. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to thank you. You saved my life. From the movie Coach Carter, quote attributed to Marianne Williamson. And then below are my 18 other keynote presentations in which I share, which has helped me to realize that I can, and also what I've achieved in my life through being committed to the process of I can. And there is a link to my availability here in the presentation, as well as my other presentations are Finding Purpose After Brain Injury and Stroke, Acceptance and Creating a New Normal After Brain Injury and Stroke, Neuroplasticity, Setting Goals and Creating Hope After Brain Injury and Stroke, Believing in Ourselves Through Self-Advocacy, A Guide to Owning Our Power After Brain Injury and Stroke, Living with a Brain Injury and the Messages We Tell Ourselves, 12 Ways to Enhance Our Lives, Well-Being, and Relationships After a Brain Injury and Stroke, The Progression of Living My Best Life After My Brain Injury, Making Our Lives Magical One Day at a Time After Brain Injury and Stroke, Brain Injury, Stress, Anxiety, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. The next presentation, Cultivating Healthy Relationships After Brain Injury and Stroke. Next presentation, Living with a Brain Injury and an Invisible Disability. How are you defining success? Next presentation, Living with a Brain Injury and Invisible Disability and Change After Brain Injury. Next presentation, Instead We Can Create Our Own Genius After Brain Injury and Stroke. Grieving the Guilt and Shame of a Traumatic Brain Injury and Stroke after of a traumatic brain injury and stroke, Brain injury, why do I feel so misunderstood and shunned? Next presentation is Living with a Brain Injury. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. Next quote in the presentation is Comprehensive History of Second Chance to Live, Answering the Call That Never Came, in which I share my journey and process more in detail. And then Second Chance to Live and Succeeding Beyond My Special Needs from 10 years of age. So these are different presentations in which I share what has helped me to be able to realize that I can, one skill and one skill set at a time, by learning to use what works for me in ways that work for me that may not work for other people, by not giving up on the process of loving God and myself, and the process of learning from my circumstances, my opportunities, lessons that are given to me, and the difficulties that I encounter. As I share, that it's not so as important as what's happened to us, but it's how we respond to what's happened to us. So then at the bottom of the presentation, I have a link to the resources that contain all the different articles that I've written, the video presentations that I've created, the ebooks that I've written, the posters that I've created, and all the other different resources that are available on Second Chance to Live. And then I also have a link to the autobiography and bullet points here from what I've achieved through my experience. So this is the end of the video presentation. I want to thank you again for your time. As you have questions, please do contact me. My email address is secondchancetolive1@yahoo.com. That's second chance to live, the number one, not O-N-E, but like 123 @yahoo.com. Before I go, let me encourage you with this. Please do not give up on yourself, a loving God, or your process, because more will be revealed to you with time. The pieces of the puzzle will come together in the correct order and at the right time. Be encouraged, my friend. More will be revealed to you and to me. I'll say so long for now. Have a great day. And please share this presentation with anyone that you believe could benefit from the information and the encouragement to not give up, to use the principles of the training camp, and just to realize what we can rather than focusing on what we can't. By looking at what is and why not me instead of what isn't and why me. So I'll say so long for now. Thanks again for your time. Have a great day, and God bless both you and your family. Happy New Year. Bye now.